I was going to look at speaking about something that's kind of current in the industry. So we're kind of looking at AI and copyright and interior design issues, which is, if you've been following the kind of discussions going on in the industry at the moment, there's a lot going on social media about what's happening. So what is it? Well, there is a business coach that's been infringing other people's content. I'm one of the people affected, and there's, for the majority of us who have been in the industry for a long time. For example, I wrote my first blog post in 2016, and obviously we have a lot of content that's out on the internet, and the reality is the way AI works is that it scrapes and starts to use that content to create new content. So it's not necessarily or original content. So what's been happening on social media is somebody's called out one of these business coaches or mentors who has been basically, it looks like she's stealing content from other people. I personally don't believe that this is malicious or intentional. I have had my content stolen for many years now. I've been quite open about this when I've been doing my live calls. And if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I have mentioned that I've noticed lots of people copying not only my content, but the way I do things. And it bothers me. But there's only, you've got to choose your battles. Specifically, because you can really go down into a dark place if you just focus on that. I also think how you deal with it is also quite important, because singling someone out for something they may not realize that they were doing wrong could also, ignorance is it's not like you can still do something wrong unknowingly and still be breaking the law, and so that's no kind of defense. So ignorance is not a defense, but it's important, I suppose, to kind of acknowledge that people do make mistakes, and how you deal with that as a professional is really critical, because there are other parts of the law that we need to care about or acknowledge, such as defamation and things like really hurting someone else's not only business, but these days, what will that drive somebody to do? Could this person self-harm because of what's going on? We don't know that. We don't want to get to that level. So taking it back to, I don't think this was malicious. I genuinely believe that this was somebody using ChatGTP and just ignorantly using it, and I think that is specifically my angle. And I do believe that because when I checked the content, it looks like it's just ChatGTP regurgitated without even being edited. And I use ChatGTP. I use AI for interior design, and I know, well, I've also educated myself on the legalities of it. For example, I am a member of Suzanne Dibble's legal buddy, and I really make an effort to stay up to date with upcoming legal knowledge in terms of what's happening with interior design and AI in the industry. So how this moves forward, I think, is a little bit tricky, because you need to start to think about how you use AI and how I know how I use it, and I will use it as an idea. I'll add prompts, and then I will take that and make it my own. If you just blindly copy what AI gives you, that may be plagiarized content. There are ways to check it. I use and have used Grammarly for a really long time, and it is free for a certain amount. So what you can do is take your ChatGTP written content, also the content that because you don't just use it and then use that content, because that's been taken from everybody else. It's not original content. I mean, if somebody else types the same thing in, they're going to get a very similar response. So you didn't create that content. You prompted the robot to create that content from the knowledge it had from, I think it's at least a year behind what's actually on the internet. So it's not up-to-date knowledge anyway. So taking that content, and then what I do is I'll run it through once I've edited it and created my own blog post, for example, I will run it through Grammarly and check to see whether any of it is plagiarized, or if it looks to be similar to somebody else's website. Sometimes, just by chance, not even in a similar industry, something will pop up and you'll go and have a look at that resource and think, or that reference, and think, okay, that has nothing to do with what I'm writing about. I'm okay. Sometimes it will pop up and you'll think, okay, we've got a similar idea on this topic. I'm going to change what I've written because yours already exists. And so I think it's important to have a look at what it is that you're putting out in the world. Blindly using ChatGPT or AI for interior design is it can get you into trouble, as you can see with this person who, is teaching other people, and it's really scary. So this is the beginning of AI for interior design, and these things, I'm not surprised. It's sad, but I'm not surprised that this is happening. And this is just my assumption that this is what's happened, is that this person has, because my assumption is based on the fact that I've looked at the person's profile, and every single piece of content, at least on social media, is AI generated, and you can see it because I use it, and so I know the patterns, and you can spot it a mile away. So if you're looking for content that is not only original but accurate, this would be really scary, because it hasn't even been edited, hasn't even, the thought process hasn't even gone into what's going on. It's literally cut, paste, and there you go. So whether that content is actually accurate is what I would be questioning, because AI is not accurate and or complete in terms of any kind of it's just a specific prompt. So for example, yesterday I came online and I talked about how to what kind of trades interior designers should be hiring. And when I put that prompt into ChatGPT, it gave me an answer that was an incorrect answer. So you can see how, by even prompting AI, you can guide it in a direction that is incorrect. So unknowingly, you could be going down a path that is just wrong, and you don't know that. And so this is where I feel that this is what might have happened. And I know a little bit of history around this person, because I do support other mentors in this industry, and I do support helping people get into interior design, because that is what I'm passionate about. It's not that I care about competition. I believe there's enough mentees to go around for everybody, and I truly believe that the reason why you would want to be a mentor in this industry, because it's not an easy job, is to actually help people become interior designers, because there are so many barriers to entry into the profession, that there are people like me and others who are really genuinely helping people try and become interior designers. Usually it's people later in life. So to wrap up, I'm not going to keep on going on about this. If you do have questions about AI and interior design, have a look at our blog post, because recently I did write a blog post about AI and interior design. We also do have a course on AI in interior design. So if you'd like to inquire about that, come and write to me. Also, if you're interested or worried about copyright, some legal issues about using AI or other people's imagery, things that your mentor should know about, then also contact me and I can give you some guidance on that. I'll leave it at that today. First time streaming to Instagram and YouTube at the same time. Hopefully it all went okay, and I will see you next week. Keep the questions coming. Ciao.